Meghan Markle has been in the spotlight for years now, but here's how she was just canceled.
The studios that gave her opportunities expecting cooperation and professionalism instead encountered what they describe as the most difficult and destructive talent they had ever attempted to work with.
Internal communications from 5 major Hollywood studios now appear to confirm what insiders have been suggesting for months. According to documents reviewed by investigative teams, Meghan Markle, the Duchess of Sussex, is reportedly being sidelined from major projects across the entertainment industry. Several sources indicate that opportunities in Hollywood are rapidly closing, creating a tense atmosphere behind the scenes. No major studio is said to be offering new work following a pattern of conflicts executives describe as extreme diva-like behavior. Additionally, there are claims of contract disputes, and one Warner Brothers executive reportedly described the situation as the most toxic professional conduct he has witnessed in years. Reports suggest millions in financial losses, with testimony from crew members and executives indicating serious professional bridges were burned. Much of this has remained under wraps because several studios reportedly signed strict non-disclosure agreements to avoid legal repercussions. Nonetheless, insiders say documents point to disputes involving millions in alleged contract issues and questions surrounding her production company, Archwell Productions, leading to what some describe as a quiet industry-wide freeze on future projects. Some say the story has been muted because it conflicts with Meghan's public image. Yet behind the scenes, many believe the full picture warrants attention, particularly regarding why major studios have reportedly withdrawn from working with her. For someone who once spoke of transforming the entertainment industry, this reaction raises significant questions. Skeptical viewers may ask how this alleged blacklist can be verified. First, internal emails reportedly from executives at Universal Pictures, Warner Brothers, Netflix, Amazon Studios, and Paramount Plus cover an extended period, directly mentioning Meghan Markle while detailing incidents that reportedly influenced studios to avoid future collaborations. These emails reportedly include metadata like timestamps, corporate server routing, and signature blocks confirming their authenticity. Additionally, multiple individuals familiar with the situation have shared accounts. 8 studio executives spoke privately. 3 talent agents who represented clients that work with Meghan offered testimony, and several production crew members reported witnessing tense moments on set. Beyond personal testimony, financial documents such as settlement agreements, breach of contract letters, and production budget reports allegedly show unexpected cost increases tied to delays and conflicts. Accounts payable records reportedly document payments made to crew members who left projects early due to workplace disputes. Hollywood Creative Directory records linked to Archwell Productions reportedly show 0 active development deals, pre-production projects, or confirmed distribution agreements as of January, despite public statements indicating projects were in progress. Entertainment attorneys specializing in talent and studio contracts reviewed parts of these documents and note the pattern resembles what the industry calls a soft blacklist. This term does not indicate an official ban, but refers to a situation where decision-makers across studios quietly avoid working with someone after hearing repeated negative reports. There are no video recordings confirming every alleged incident, and Meghan's representatives have declined to comment. However, supporters of the investigation say the combination of documents, witness accounts, financial records, and legal analysis presents a compelling view of what may be happening in Hollywood. Looking back, Meghan Markle, who worked as an actress before stepping away from the industry in 2017 after marrying Prince Harry, began exploring a return around 2020. She publicly discussed creating projects that could reshape the industry and amplify new voices. Studios reportedly expected smooth collaboration, but some executives claim the experience became extremely challenging. Investigation findings fall into 7 main categories of concern, each notable on its own, but collectively indicating a pattern that makes future partnerships unlikely. The first category involves contract disputes and missed work commitments. Production schedules for a Netflix series reportedly show Meghan was expected for a set number of filming days between March and November, but records suggest she appeared for significantly fewer, with explanations citing medical and personal reasons, including dehydration, food poisoning, and severe migraines. Crew members reportedly observed her attending social gatherings during some absences. The contract included penalties for unexcused absences, An internal report suggests Netflix absorbed substantial direct penalty costs and additional expenses tied to delays, location fees, and rescheduled production timelines. The second category concerns how production staff and crew were treated. Documents reviewed include sworn statements from crew members describing tense interactions, difficult demands, and instances where staff felt unfairly blamed. One camera operator reportedly was criticized for over 10 minutes regarding a lighting setup Meghan found unflattering, despite the shot being approved. A wardrobe assistant claimed she lost her job after Meghan complained about a dress she had previously approved. A production assistant described repeated requests for daily replacement of food with specific organic items, sometimes requiring long drives, and occasionally rejected for freshness. Witnesses also described shouting, thrown scripts or water bottles, and embarrassing moments for staff. Multiple crew members reportedly left mid-project, adding significant extra costs. The third category involves disputes over creative control and alleged contract overreach. While contracts grant performers input on scripts and casting within limits, the ultimate authority rests with showrunners and senior executives. Sources say Meghan allegedly pushed beyond these boundaries in several instances, creating friction with studio leadership. This combination of miscommitments, workplace tension, and creative disputes contributed to what insiders view as a sustained pattern of challenges in working with Meghan Markle, shaping the current situation in Hollywood.
The evidence we have compiled falls into 7 major categories, each of which independently would raise serious concerns, but collectively paint a picture of systematic professional misconduct that made continued collaboration impossible. The first category involves contract violations and work refusal. According to production schedules obtained,
internal emails between Meghan Markle's representatives and studio executives reportedly reveal repeated attempts to exceed contractual limits. Sources claim she requested significant script rewrites that would alter the direction of projects, and disputed casting choices that conflicted with original character descriptions or audience research. In several instances, she allegedly refused to perform scenes as written unless dialogue was modified to match her preferences. One email chain reportedly shows a tense exchange between a Netflix executive and Meghan's legal team, in which the executive denied her request to replace the showrunner due to contractual limits. Her attorney responded with a warning of possible legal action, citing breach of the implied covenant of good faith and fair dealing. Sources indicate Netflix incurred substantial legal costs responding to the dispute before the threat was withdrawn. Studio insiders interpret these communications as evidence of ongoing creative conflicts rather than the smooth collaboration originally expected. The fourth category involves financial concerns related to Meghan's production company, Archwell Productions. The company signed a reported multi-year content deal with Netflix to produce documentaries, feature films, scripted series, and children's content. Despite expectations, industry tracking shows that only a 6-episode documentary series was delivered over 4 years. Analysts estimate Netflix invested millions in development costs, producer payments, and project options that never came to fruition. Additional financial scrutiny reportedly flagged questionable expenses, including wardrobe purchases for personal use, travel not tied to active projects, PR and media management costs, and office expenses supporting staff rather than production. These costs reportedly total millions, eventually leading to a settlement where Meghan agreed to repay a portion to avoid formal legal action. The fifth category addresses claims of special accommodations exceeding typical industry norms. Budget and contract documents reportedly included high-end requests such as a private luxury trailer, a 4-person security team, organic catered meals prepared by a specific chef, a dedicated hair and makeup team, and constant access to a Mercedes S-Class with a driver. Insiders estimate these accommodations could add substantial costs per filming day. When a producer suggested scaling back these requests, Meghan's representatives reportedly threatened contractual action and accused the studio of creating a hostile work environment. The studio eventually settled the issue, paying the producer severance, which some insiders say sent a warning throughout the industry that challenging her requests could carry professional risk. The sixth category focuses on media strategy and narrative control. Sources claim Meghan's team frequently shared positive project updates with friendly media, while studios privately dealt with crew complaints, rising budgets, and scheduling issues. When outside media reported problems, her team allegedly threatened legal action for confidentiality breaches. One Warner Brothers executive reportedly received a cease and desist letter demanding millions for alleged reputational harm, although the matter was later resolved with Meghan withdrawing the claim. By early April, sources say tensions peaked during negotiations with Amazon Studios for a limited series potentially worth millions for her dual role as star and executive producer. By September, the Netflix partnership with Archwell Productions officially ended, with only one completed project delivered. By December, industry directories reportedly showed no active Archwell projects or development agreements with major studios, raising questions about the behind-the-scenes activities over several years. Leaked emails in January indicate studio executives discussed avoiding new collaborations with Meghan, suggesting a coordinated industry cooling toward future projects. Supporters of this investigation highlight a multi-year pattern. Initial excitement about partnerships shifted to repeated disputes, missed expectations, and ultimately widespread reluctance from studios to work with her. According to sources, these conflicts impacted budgets, schedules, and relationships with crew across multiple projects, reflecting a sustained pattern rather than isolated incidents. Looking forward, the question becomes how the situation will affect Meghan's career and studio management of similar conflicts. Under California labor law, coordinated efforts to block employment can be considered unfair business practices, but legal experts note these rules typically apply to protected activities, such as union organizing or whistleblowing. Independent decisions by multiple employers to avoid collaboration due to documented workplace conflicts or contractual disputes are generally treated differently under the law.
Their treatment of production staff and crew members. We have obtained sworn declarations from 17 crew members who worked on various Meghan Markle projects describing a pattern of verbal abuse, impossible demands, and retaliatory behavior toward anyone who failed to meet her expectations. One camera operator describes being berated for 11 minutes because a lighting setup created what Meghan perceived as an unflattering shadow on her face, despite the director of photography explaining that the lighting matched the approved shot list.
Entertainment attorneys reviewing Meghan Markle's situation say she would likely face significant legal challenges if she attempted to prove the existence of an illegal Hollywood blacklist. Experts note that each studio involved appears to have documentation tied to specific contract disputes, crew complaints, and financial losses that could justify their individual decisions regarding future projects. Communication between studios during reference checks is generally considered standard business practice and is viewed as due diligence rather than a coordinated conspiracy. From a contract law perspective, a bigger concern involves potential liability related to prior agreements, as settlement deals, including the one reportedly reached with Netflix, often contain strict confidentiality clauses that restrict public discussion of disputes. Attorneys suggest that any public accusations of unfair treatment or discrimination could trigger claims of violated confidentiality, potentially leading to repayment demands or additional legal damages. Industry observers outlined several possible paths for Meghan's career. She could pursue international projects in markets like the UK, Canada, Australia, or parts of Europe, where her royal background draws media attention. While this may provide income and maintain her producer role, budgets are typically smaller and prestige is lower, with potential workplace conflicts following her abroad. Another option is pursuing aggressive legal action, filing lawsuits against multiple studios for discrimination, blacklisting, breach of contract, or reputational harm to pressure settlements or secure future collaborations, though this carries major risks, including breaking confidentiality agreements and undergoing full legal discovery. A third path is reputation rebuilding through charity and public service, dedicating years to consistent humanitarian efforts to slowly restore trust with audiences and industry decision-makers, eventually opening doors to smaller media projects, though it requires patience, genuine commitment, and acceptance of lower income and visibility. Alternatively, she could continue denying responsibility and place blame on outside forces, publicly arguing that bias or unfair treatment caused studios to distance themselves. While this may maintain follower support, it risks deepening divides with studios and creating legal issues if statements violate confidentiality or harm reputations. Analysts suggest the most likely short-term path involves challenging the Hollywood narrative while attributing responsibility externally, with potential eventual shift towards smaller projects or charitable work if opportunities remain limited. The aggressive legal route is considered less likely unless a strong case emerges, and a complete exit from public life seems improbable given her past career choices and ambitions. Ultimately, Meghan's next steps and the entertainment industry's response will determine the trajectory of her career